Hey, it's Andrew.
I'm Ben.
And we're Crown the Empire, and you're watching Chagua Music. You and I met on Skype probably before anything.
Yeah.
We started when we auditioned Ben to join the band probably what? How long has it been? 2 years, 3 years now?
3 years.
About 3 years ago. He lived in Washington and I lived in Texas. We were looking for a new guitar player. We found him on YouTube doing guitar covers and just killing it. Played an audition for one of our songs and met online. Skype was the first time I ever had a conversation in person.
Yeah, so. We met that way, and then we found our screamer in the local scene, and it all just kind of came together that way.
Yeah. At first, we kind of didn't know what to expect from one another because it's easy to carry a conversation, but to tour full time is insane. You know, we went from not hanging out ever, and then him flying down, and the first day we met in person, we shot a music video together.
Yeah.
And then after that, we lived together every day for the last 4 years now. Yeah. So. For me, it was after our first show we played with the band. This is my first band, played real show. Probably 3 years ago. Played our first show, was blown away. I was like, I have to find a way to do this forever. So, yeah.
I was 15 years old, and I was booking my own shows and starting my own band. I was kind of pushing myself in that field. And as soon as I started playing shows and doing that thing, and we had a little bit of success in our local scene, I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You know? So I went for it ever since.
Oh man, it's like night and day for me. I was in high school at the time. I was a sophomore in high school. I was 17 when we started the band, and I just turned 20 last month, and my lifestyle is completely different. I was living at home with my parents, going to school every morning, doing classes too, waking up in a different city every day, you know, to people singing the songs. So that was the biggest transition for me. It's a completely different lifestyle.
I mean, just
you have to
as far as the transition, it was a real maturity thing for me. You know, growing up next to 6 dudes face to face for however long we did, it just changes everything about you when you have to be right here with 6 other people and learn how to coexist with them and their needs, and you know, when you're living in such a small space, that was probably the biggest transition for me.
It's insane. The first year was probably the hardest because we never toured with anyone before. So all as a band, having to live this far away from 6 dudes at all times is off-putting. You know, it's completely different than what I was an only child. I had one dog and he didn't even like me. So being thrown into that was probably different. But once you get in the groove of it, it just becomes power work. Everybody knows what you need to do. Everybody has their own specific job, their own niche, and we work like a machine now. It's insane.
After about a year, you kind of figured out there's a lot of etiquette you have to learn as far as touring goes and dealing with people on the road. You know, after our first year and a half, we kind of got it figured out, at least the basics.
Yeah. For me, I'd say either Machines or Millennia. They're 2 that we haven't released yet, but they're completely next level, for me.
They're a lot softer type songs. We haven't gone that direction yet, so it's something we're exploring as a band as far as our sound song. Favorite tracks? I mean, I actually got the opportunity to produce a lot of this album, and I don't think I can pick a favorite. I love every song equally. I put so much work into all of them. It's as a whole, I just love this album. We kind of got our label's okay, you guys are going to tour off the fall for about a year and a half, and when that time ended, we were okay, we got to do a record. So we were kind of shopping around, seeing who we wanted to work with for this new album, and we ended up going to Long Island, New York to work with Dan Corniff at his studio there. We spent about 2 months recording the entire record and writing in the process. It was about 2 months of the grinding, actually molding those basic parts together, and then we sent it to Chris Crummett to be mixed and then mastered by Joey Sturgis after that, and we kind of got to pick all the people that we wanted to do a specific job on this album instead of doing it all with one person.
Yeah, it was like Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's really...
Yeah. Oh man.
I think Become the Cog and Crown is probably mine. I like that because it kind of explains our symbol a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, we have like the angriest lyrics I've ever heard, and it's like so metal. And the song Monster we play live. Well, I think we're playing a different one out, but there's a song called Monster. And it's I feel it all through my chest. I spit the fire from my lungs. The creature I buried is now the beast that I've become. And it just goes. It's just like there's so many more. It's just like so like angry and just like that one was pretty like the most like for me. It gets you like fucking pumped. Just makes me want to like flex or something. So. The Rave in Milwaukee is insane. It's like this big haunted venue with like this ballroom that's like a swimming pool that was abandoned down in the bottom. It's all got graffiti all over it. It's insane. It's like super creepy.
There's one in the UK called Asylum. They have a rock bar there, and so we always get to like hang out with people afterwards, and it's huge. Always a big show.
Yeah, they play like metal music in the club, and people were like grinding on each other too. And I was like, that's weird.
This kind of music is
I was like, that's weird, but you know, the drinking age there is 18. You know, I'm sure you know. So and he's 19, I'm 20, so we can't drink here, so it's cool to like hang out and like be in that atmosphere in the UK. I mean, it's basically like, it's like a Disneyland or something for me, you know. It's just like, oh, I can drink over there. Like
treat we don't every once in a while.
Yeah, like in Canada, we were in Canada the other day and the drinking age is the same, so we were like, let's have a beer. We don't even drink beer or like it. We were just like, just because we could, we were just like, fuck the system. Just like, you know, so. I've had so many, on this specific tour though, there have been some really good ones. We had, I signed a prosthetic leg once at a signing, that was pretty sick. She just popped it off and set it on the table and she's like, sign this. And I was just like, no way. This lady asked me to sign her baby's belly once, and then we came back to that city probably 6 months, 8 months later, and she brought the baby. It was like, you signed my baby. And I was like, no way. That was insane. So that was probably a cool one for me too.
I mean, there's been so many. I mean, in the UK, we played a sold-out show in London. I think it's probably one of my favorite shows as a band that we've ever played. And there was just like those kids there's tons of signs. There's probably like 12 or 13 kids with these huge signs. Like, it was freaking out. It was probably the craziest crowd interaction that we've had. Get to talk with them all afterwards because you don't get to see them very often.
It was fun.
It was definitely
always a good time. Kind of, yeah.
He's more of a joker, but
yeah. I used to prank Brandon, our guitar player, would always have his computer open because he runs our social media. He does Twitter, Facebook, and I would always get on there like post, just like, can't believe I dyed my hair pink today. Just like, who wants pics? And people are like, oh my gosh, and we get like a ton of likes. It's like, I didn't do that. So I would always do that stuff. So probably me. Yeah. Probably to be more cleanly. I'm really dirty, I'm really messy, so I'm sure everybody would benefit from me not being a filthy asshole.
I was just getting better shape. That was probably mine. Just even better, push myself harder.
So many, dude. I work with
tons. Even a few on this tour.
Yeah, I work with. I mean, we haven't done very many collabs with any bands on our record. We haven't had any features or anything like that. So yeah, I would love to have some people come up and sing with us or something. That'd be awesome.
Oh
yeah, absolutely.
Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, anybody like that. Bert from The Used. Yeah, anybody like that. Anybody like that would be awesome. I just got into a band that played today called 1OK Rock, and they're this Japanese band, and they're on the Beatport stage, which is like the DJ stage, only band on there, and they played in front of probably like 100, 150 people, and in Japan they're going back to play a 40,000 seat arena stadium.
They're massive.
They're so big over there, nobody knows, so probably them. I'm gonna check them out. So,
and for me, album of the year was North Lane Singularity. That's like what I've been jamming.
Oh, so heavy.
For like
so heavy.
months. It's awesome. I love that album.